guys, happy Monday afternoon. It is another episode of Tech on the Deck, and I'm starting off today with the Canon SL2 with the 18-55 lens mounted on it, and we're at wide open 18 mil, and I wanted to show you guys the difference between the 18 mil and this new lens that I have. And this new lens is kind of a purpose-built lens, and from the spec sheets it's really not that great of a lens, but when you use it in practical application mounted on this camera, used in the way that I'm going to use it, I think it's a pretty good lens. I keep bopping the table, so sorry about that. I really love the fact that this SL2, I don't have to do a lot of adjustments and stuff to the lenses because it's just getting me in focus all the time. So what did I buy and why? I bought a refurbished from the Canon site 10-18 lens. It's a wide angle lens. And I don't do landscape photography. I don't do anything like that. But I got this lens because it's wide angle. And different than the 18-55, it only goes 10-18, which doesn't sound like much of a range, but it's actually quite a bit of a step between these two. And the other thing I like is it has an image stabilizer, so I'm going to be able to walk around and use this for video purposes and not have too much shake. This lens is one of the lenses that's adapted and made to work on the cameras that have the dual pixel autofocus really well. So I'm really excited to have this lens, and I just wanted to show you what it can do. So when I walk around and I vlog, I'm just going to take you for a walk here. I hold this camera up and I hold it close to my face and I walk around and I talk, and it looks fine, but I'm a little close. So this is the 18 mil fully extended arm. Now after a while this would get tiring because my arm is fully extended. It's like holding a 1.5 pound dumbbell straight out. A little bend in your arm gives you more flexibility, but this gives you more of an up close and personal feel. So I don't always want to use this camera this way with this lens. So let's take a look at what it would be like to switch from the 18 mil to a wide open 10 right now. So this is the 10 mil, and what's great about this is my arm is folded and kind of resting against my body, and this thing is like right in my face. I mean, really close. If I go now with a full extended arm, now this is how far we are. Compared to where we were before, this is way farther away, and you can actually see the bend in my elbow right here. So this is going to be way better for just the walk and talk and the wide angle lens. And it's just as light as the kit lens. Now, if you want to zoom back in and do the 18 like I was doing before, same diff. Now, the only thing you lose with this lens is you lose lighting. So this other lens is a f4, meaning it can open up its aperture wide enough to get more light in. So this lens right here is an f4 lens. And the one that's on there, the 10-18, is an f4.5 to 5.6. This is an f4, I think, to 5.6. So I think you're losing, what is that, a half a stop? I don't know. But as you can see though, a wide angle lens is also going to do weird things. Like if you're sitting and talking at a distance and you put your hand out, it's going to look weird. Your hand looks giant compared to your face, like back here, you know. So I think if you're 2-3 feet off this lens and you're doing like just a talk session, I think the 18-55 is the way to go. If you're doing a fishing video and you're walking around and you're videotaping as you're walking, I think the 10 is the way to go. Plus, you're going to get a much wider field of vision like when you're fishing. So you can see, I could set this up and point it in a direction and it's going to capture, you know, much wider angle, you know, than the regular lens would. It's going to be more like a GoPro. Might have a little bit of a curvature to it, but I think all in all it looks pretty good, especially up front, and it's definitely image stabilized. So let me just walk down these stairs, do a quick little lap around my yard, and you can see everything around me. So if I push it way out, you can see where I'm going and what I'm doing, and it's not too shaky. The wider you go on lenses, the less shake you notice anyway. So a lot of people without stabilized cameras or lenses will use wide angles because it doesn't show up as much. And remember, you can always crank it back into 18 mil, and it looks kind of like the kit lens 18 mil did, but not quite, but it's similar. But I'm sure you're using a higher ISO here and you're going to get more noise and grain, but yeah, thumbs up. 10 to 18. Oh, and it's cheap. I got it on Canon refurbished. It was $187. It was like 2 something with a $50 rebate. So I got it for like 180, 190 bucks. Shipped to my doorstep. It was like an even 201. So you can't really beat that. It's worth it all day long. So thanks for watching. Tech on the deck. See y'all later. Hey, one more thing I forgot to mention. If you wanted to use this 10 millimeter wide angle, you could use it for like interior, room shots. If you're showing work you've done in construction, if you're a real estate agent, or if you're in the industry for decorating or anything you want to show a wide angle of a room, this is going to be much better than most things that you have. I've never gone below 18, so I think this is going to be a cool added lens to my collection. So just wanted to mention that. Interior room, wide angle photography, this will be good as well, because you can stick it on a tripod, open the aperture up as wide as it'll go, and then take a really long exposure, and it'll give you a nice crisp picture, and it'll look great. So anyway, I use these a lot. When I'm finished with my work and construction jobs, I go in and I'll take pictures of kitchens and stuff, and sometimes you can't back up far enough. So this will help me out immensely.